For you did not receive a spirit that makes you a slave again to fear, but you received the spirit of sonship. If work is what we are slaves to, that's where the trouble comes in. So you can either be a son or a servant, and you do not want to be a servant in this case. A servant works because he has to earn a living. He has to prove himself and he has no choice. To a servant, work is a dull grind. A son, on the other hand, has just one master. He works to exalt his Father's kingdom. Dwell daily in the gospel. The Son becomes a servant so that we who are enslaved can be freed and adopted into sonship. So powerful that I cannot allow myself to be working for anyone but God, to be following Jesus, because if not, I become a servant to my job, to my relationship, you name it, whatever it is that you become a servant to. If it isn't God, if it isn't that pursuit, boy, it's a slippery slope that can get you into lots of trouble. Are you a son or are you a servant? So take that to heart. Let your heart lead with that. I always try to keep things simple, and that's really simple for me to conceptualize. Why am I doing this? Is it to honor the kingdom? Is it to honor me? Is it to honor another person? Is it because of a job? It's because the kids need shoes, whatever it is. Why am I doing it? I know it may sound a little ridiculous, but if you start there, it's really going to start to, I think, impact your life in a positive way. Allison, are you a son or a servant?
Oh, well, that puts a little different twist on it, doesn't it?
Yes.
So it makes me think of that scripture, well done, my good and faithful one, or well done, my good and faithful servant. But Jesus was also saying, I no longer call you, I forget what word it is there, but now you are my friends, right? And we are adopted into the being family, being his children, sons and daughters of God, because we are in him, in Jesus Christ. So, I want to be a servant of the Most High, faithful servant, one, but with that description, it's very true. We're not just, somebody that's hired out here to do whatever manual labor for pay, right? We are truly about our Father's business. And that's what we're called to do. If we answer the call, it's our choice, one way or the other. We can say yes, or we can say, I didn't hear that. Kids, sometimes they're out playing, and we used to have a bell at our back porch, and my father would yell, and he'd ring the bell. And of course, if we were not going to be punished, if it was time to come home for dinner or whatever, we would come running, literally running at the call. That was his call. If we didn't, we were going to be in trouble. So I want to answer the call.
A good litmus test for us as individuals in everything we do, just to say, am I doing this for the kingdom, or am I doing it for, it could be money, relationship, for my kids?
An ego, self-gratifying thing, or out of fear of what somebody else might think. The
cross is the only thing powerful enough to keep us away from self and sin. Amen. Relying on ourself and keeping us away from sin. It's just the cross. That's the only thing powerful enough to keep us away from that.
That's the power, right? You've said that before, the power of the resurrection, right? Of the empty cross. That he's not on the cross anymore and he's on the grave. The power of the resurrection.
Subscribe with the notification bell to receive regular updates. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button to see more like this. Comment down below. This can be with questions or answers to a question you ask. And we will see you the next time on this amazing journey from isolation to the community, where the next step beyond is freedom.